So now I'm like switching the perspective. Let's say now I'm like an old younger person listening to a podcast, and I'm like, what this new the guest he wants the older people to thrive. What about the younger people? And they're like riding against you. What would you say to like the younger person who is also thinking of a startup, or like any advice for them?
Yeah, do it. I really, 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 really want them to do it. I want people all over the world at every age, and not just in their 20s. I've got the only charter school for entrepreneurship in the entire United States, about 6 blocks from where I'm standing right now. And they're teaching kids that are first, second, third, fourth grade to start small businesses. It is really exciting, Aditya. Oh my gosh. I think that those are the two groups of demographic groups in the world that will lead the world. And I don't see older entrepreneurs as being any smarter necessarily than young entrepreneurs. I think they have more problems to fix, maybe. But I advocate to all my peers that I'm bringing into this conversation that are in this second half of life is don't assume that you're the mentor. Young people know a hell of a lot more than we do on many, many things. So why not have young startup entrepreneurs as mentors to us? And we can mentor back or advise back as need be. That's how I see this generational bridge being created. And I and my peers are all working towards that edge right now. It's not an either or. It, by young entrepreneurs and older entrepreneurs working together, especially, we're not taking each other's slice of the pie. We're making the pie bigger.
Okay, so now let's say we've established, okay, young people, old people, you make a startup. Um, my question would be, I've decided to make a startup. How much how much money do I put into the startup? Because I'm scared now. I've loads of risks. I'm young. I don't have risks. I'm old. I have risks. Like how much money do I put to start it up?
The answer that I would give if you were sitting across the desk and you just walked in and you were thinking of this startup, I'd say, how fast do you want to go? And if you want to go really fast, you're going to need a lot of money. That's the only way to do that. What you didn't ask is, do I think that's a good idea? And I'll answer that. No, I don't think it's a good idea to go really fast in your early stages. Younger people can do that. Older people, there's no reason to, right?
Yeah.
We don't need hockey stick returns for investors on this thing. You need to make a fixed amount of income to make yourself more resilient. Um, there's a speed thing here, and you can always throw money at it. But
Yeah.
what I found, and I haven't had this problem very often, but when you have too much money in a startup and you start throwing money at these problems, you lose sight of how to fix these things. You're just fixing it with money, not fixing it with knowledge and know-how.
Okay. So now we're continuing on the story. Like we have everything. We have the cost, I guess. What the message is here, like maybe take time to build a star, build relationships, build a clientele. Um, how can I then make the startup successful? And then I think you'd ask me like, what is successful for you? I don't know, but like, what would you say? What's the key to make it like, I guess enough for? Actually, I don't know what would successful be, but like, well, how would you make it successful?
That's actually the key point, right? Is everybody is looking at entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship as usually these young bros on the cover of the business magazines, and they got like a yacht in the distance,
Yeah.
and uh, or they're mountain climbing. Um, that's successful for them. Then that's perfectly good. I can't take that away from them. But if I'm 55 or 60 years old and I'm living in Muscat or I'm living in Pittsburgh, I can see real problems in my community based on how this works. Is that going to make me happier to start fixing some and successful to start fixing some of those and seeing people in need have a better life based on ideas that I bring to the table? even though it doesn't compensate me in these new, lots of zeros on the check kind of a deal. Heck yes, I think that makes me successful. I strongly believe in the success for older entrepreneurs is to create more resiliency and control in their life. It's something a lot of us don't have, and especially when we're younger, we're caught up in the flows of culture and jobs and money and family and all of that. As you get a little older, you can start to um, plan for a legacy and plan for how you want to live out the rest of your life, and adding an extra 10, 15, 20,000, 25,000, whatever it is. These are all typically not really big revenue generators, but are they success and happiness generators? You bet.